Hey, what's up you guys, Jackjackhd here. It has been over 2 years since the last time I built my BHE 1v1 map tutorial, and obviously there's been a lot of changes to Fortnite since then, which affects that tutorial. So I thought it would be cool to come back to Fortnite just to make a updated version for 2023. If you haven't yet, make sure you guys like the video if you guys enjoy this type of content. It has also been a very long time since I played Fortnite, so I'm interested in seeing what has changed. Let's get right into it, try to follow along. Let's build ourselves a updated BHE 1v1 map. We got a new layout here. We're gonna go to create and go to your island hub. Let's get to it. We're gonna make a new map. Create new. Whoa, there's a lot of new starter islands. Let's select the large grid island. Once you're in, we're gonna go to settings, my island settings. Time of day, we're gonna set it to 12 p.m. so it's daytime. In the game tab, we're gonna set voice chat all. Next, scroll down. Infinite ammo, we're going to set this to on. Starting shields, 100. Building can't destroy environment. No. Environment damage, off. Health granted on elimination. I'm going to set this to 200. So you get full heals after you get an elimination. Join in progress. I'm going to set this to spawn. Time limit, I'm going to set this to none. Eliminated players' items, we're going to set it to keep. So once you get eliminated, you keep your items. And there you go. That's the game settings for our game mode. Next, we're going to find this white square. This is the middle of our map. We're going to go to create. Look at all these new devices I've never seen before. Wish these existed when I was on Fortnite Creative 24/7. Grab the Mutator zone. We're going to place it in our white square here. In the settings, here's what we're going to change. Zone width, 80. Zone depth, 80. Zone height 0.5. I just noticed there's 2 new tabs here. We got functions and we got events. I'm gonna have to figure out how these work, but for the time being, let's continue to creative, to galleries. We're gonna type in indestructible and we're gonna pop up the indestructible gallery. Click on that and we're gonna go through here and choose a few things that we'll need for a map. We're gonna need our floor and also the wall, and finally the ramp. Why not the vault? We're going to be building ourselves a vault room. And maybe use this for the floor or ceiling in the vault room. We'll try it out. We're going to build our floor down first. Build a wall. And then build another floor. Second floor. Just like that. We're going to build it out. I built it 6 ways each direction. And then I'm going to pick one side and add one to it. Just like that. With the longest side, I'm going to be building the ramp here. Just like that. Then fill it out. I think this one is a bit bigger than the previous one I built, but it's not a problem. You can build your platform as large as you want. Next, we're going to be building out those walls around the platform. Just like that. The next thing we're going to do, we're going to make our entrance to the vault room. So we're going to place down the vault. Make sure grid snap is set to 2. And place it just like that. We're going to go to options. And in options, this is the quick menu options. We're going to go to building as prop. Currently it's set to off. What we're going to do, set it to origin edge. And what this will do, it'll let us place this wall where we want it. We're going to rotate it. Place it just like that. We're going to make ourselves a box for our vault entrance. Next, we're going to use our floor that we selected for our vault, and we're going to be placing it as a roof. Just like that. That looks pretty good. we're going to select the walls. Copy that, bring it down, and place. Just like that. Looks pretty good. Go to devices. We're going to go to button. Place it just in front of the volt. We're going to go into the settings. Here are the settings that we're going to change. Triggered sound disabled. Interaction text, I have it set to enter weapon volt. You can set it up to whatever you like. Visible during game? No. Interaction radius? 1.0. Let's grab our button, place it a little bit closer to our volt here. You still need to access this button in order to connect it to a teleport so we can teleport into our volt. Next, we're going to set up our volts room. So we're going to fly away from our map here, away from our mutator, away from our 1v1 area. We're going to be building our volts room. So we're going to build this out. You can build it however you like. You can design it however you like. So I decided to build my volt this big, which is a 5x8. And what we're going to do is delete these middle walls here. And we're going to be building our volts door here. Go to galleries, type in yacht. In yacht prop gallery, you'll find the open volt. This is what we need. Resize it. And make it larger. We're going to have grid snap to 32. We're going to line it up with our wall here and also make sure it's large enough to fit. Just like that. Next, let's make our ceilings and our floor. Once again, you can design your volt however you like. Right now, I'm just going to fill this in. Easy as that. Next to devices, we're going to go to player spawner. And we're going to be placing these in our starting area. Place one, go into the settings. Enable during phase, gameplay only. Uses Allen start off, visible in game off. So at this point, I ran into a little issue. Now the issue is these player spawners. So currently, if you're following the tutorial, these player spawners are enabled during phase, are all set to gameplay only, which is accurate. This is what it's supposed to be. But if you're playing your own game in your own hub, apparently this doesn't work. Back in the day, this wasn't an issue, but how to fix it? Just make sure you have all these set to always. Now we can copy this one and place at least 16 of these in our volts room. Copy and paste. There you go. Add a 16 player spawns in our volts room. Two devices. Go to item spawner. Place it down. Go into the settings. Base visible during game off. Time before first spawn instant. Time between spawns instant. We're gonna go ahead and place these around in our vault. You're gonna have to manually place down items in these item spawners and set it up however you like. So to weapons and consumables, I'm gonna have to place down any items I want in my vaults, and I guess this could be a fun part of building your map. If you want mythic weapons, if you want really strong weapons, if you want more realistic weapons, it is all up to you. Let's get to it. Go ahead, place down items in your item spawners. So I just placed down some items just as an example. Next, what we're going to be doing is making a way so we can teleport when we go through this vault door. Two devices, Mutator. Place it just outside the door. To the Mutator settings. Zone width 2, zone height 2, enable VFX disabled. Next, what we're going to do, we're going to build out here to make a illusion as if we're entering the 1v1 arena. Shout out to BHE for making this idea. It's really cool. It's also, right now, this is the first time building this, so I think right now I'm kind of entertained. 2 devices. We're going to go to barrier device. Place it on the corner. Go into the settings. Here are the settings. So thinking about it now, this actually might be a bit too complicated, a bit too advanced for a lot of people trying this. What I will say is I'll include this in the video, but know that this is just an option. If you do want to skip this part, you can. Copy that barrier. I'm making the boundaries. Copy that, paste it on the other side. It's not showing up on the corners. Drop sets to off. We're gonna have a floating barrier here. Height doesn't need to be that large. Gotta make it big enough to fit on the top. Make sure it doesn't pop up in the vaults area, which it doesn't, which is good. So easy thing to do is just place down these ramps just like that, the normal ramps, and then you access the arena like so. You can definitely do that, but what I'm going to be doing instead is shrinking these ramp sizes. Once again, we're going to go to building as prop, turn that to origin edge. Now with that, I can resize it, and we're going to shrink it. Rotate it, place, copy, rotate. Two devices, going to bring up a button. Resize it, place it where I like it. And there you go, it looks good. Next, what we gotta do is make sure our Mutator is functionable with a teleporter. Also, back to our 1v1 arena, we gotta make sure our vault entrance works. To our button at the entrance, go in the settings. Here's a new feature that I just figured out. You can actually name these devices. So I'm going to name this Vault Entrance Button. Then okay, back to the Vault. 2 devices, we're going to need our teleporter. In our settings for the teleporter, we have teleporter group, none. Teleporter target group, none. Teleporter rift visible, nope. Play sound effects, nope. Conserve momentum, nope. Face player and teleporter direction, yes. Also, in the tab functions, teleport when receiving from. Click on add, select device, and we're going to find our button for our vault entrance. Vault entrance button. That's pretty convenient. We're going to raise this up a little bit. Just like that. Copy that. We're going to go back to our arena. And we're going to place down a teleporter next to the vault. To this new device settings, what we're going to change is on interact. Go ahead and click on that. Click on delete. Just like that. We're going to change this teleporter name. Arena teleporter. Next to our Mutator here at our door exit, we're going to go to events. We're going to go to on player entering zone. Click on add. Select device. And we're going to click on arena teleporter. Then click on select function. We're going to click on teleport. So this part is pretty important, so we're going to have to try it out to see if it works. Item spawn. Perfect. We got our vault entrance here. We got a really cool decoration back there. And get teleported into the arena. Perfect. This is exactly what I wanted. We should be able to go back into the vault, enter your weapon vault, and get teleported. Perfect. And you can do that as many times as you want. One thing I did forget about this vault room, we gotta make sure we have a mutator in here so people don't shoot each other. That would be pretty devastating. 2 devices, mutator. Once again, I'm gonna place it inside, try to center it. In the settings, allow building, no. Zone width 20, zone depth 20, zone height 2. Allow editing, no. Movement multiplier, this one's pretty cool. Back in the day, this wasn't an option. 1.3. Enable VFX, disabled. So make sure this vault room doesn't affect anything to do with this arena. So we got our mutators here, they don't touch. So now if you start the game again, start in the vault. Movement speed increase. You can pick up your weapons. You can't build in here. You can't shoot. Once you enter the arena, movement speed decreased, and you can shoot again and build again. So my vault is done. You can do whatever you want with this vault. You can add vendors, you can add more weapons, or do whatever you want with it. This is just an example, and it's pretty basic. Vault room is done. Now let's work on our 1v1 arena. So the purpose of this mutator down here, if you do fall off the platform, you should be teleported to the ramps. Now let's get that working. We're going to go ahead and copy our teleport next to the vault, and we're going to place it right next to our ramps here. Go into the settings, go to functions, and we're going to remove this. Make sure that's not connected. So the name of this teleporter is Arena Teleporter 2. Just remember that. That's very important. Let's go underneath our platform. We'll find our original mutator that we placed at the beginning of our video. In events, go to on player entering zone. Click on add. Select device, Arena Teleporter 2. Select function, teleport. There you go. Really easy. Next thing we'll do, we'll make a build reset button. 2 devices, go to explosive device. We're going to place it in between our ramps. Go into the settings. Health indestructible, blast radius 5, player damage 0, structure damage 5000, knockback off, play audio VFX nope, visible during game nope, collision during games off, show health bar no, play audio no. 2 devices, go to button. We're gonna resize it, make it a little bit larger. Go into the settings, reset delay 3 seconds, interaction text, build reset. Go to events, on interact send event 2. We're going to connect this with the explosive device. So once this button gets activated or clicked on, the explosive device goes off. Explosive device. Select function, explode. Now to the explosive device. In events, on exploded send event 2. We're going to connect the explosive device with itself in order for it to reset once it's used. Explosive device. Select function. Reset. Now what we can do, we can copy our button. Gonna rotate it, put it on both sides. Copy that. We're going to put it on the other side of the ramp. Let's go ahead and try out the build reset. Make sure that it works. Let's go ahead and build something out. There we go. Let's test it out. There we go. So this should be a infinite build reset button. And you can click it as many times as you want. While we're here, we might as well test out our mutator zone. Perfect. The next thing we'll do, we'll place down our barrier underneath the platform, and then it will consume most of this area. And we're going to do it underneath this platform and have it next to this mutator zone here. Go to devices, go to barrier device. Delete that wall, don't need that. Then make sure the barrier is just in the middle, just like that. In the barrier settings, the settings you'll have to change. Barrier style, you can set this up to whatever you like. This is just the overall look of the barrier. I have it set to nebula purple, looks pretty cool. Enable during phase, all. Zone shape, this is very important, as I always say, box hollow. Zone width, 80. Zone depth, 80. Zone height, 100. What you can do next is raise the barrier just a little bit above the ground so that the barrier appears on the ground. So from the outside, it looked like this. What we're going to do, we're going to copy this Mutator zone. And then we're going to go at the very top of our map here. So what we're doing now is setting up a height limit. So once you do reach height limit, what will happen is you'll get teleported to the ramps instead of physically hitting the top of the map. Easy as that. So if you did it right, your map should look something like this. So that is the main features of the BHE map. We're going to add a few other features, a few smaller features onto this map, just to, you know, top it off. In devices, pinball bumper. Place it down. In settings, knockback, mega high, fall damage off, allow side bounce off, side bounce lift 0. Back to devices, speaker. With the speaker, I'm going to place it just above the explosive device. Here are the settings: audio selection, reward 1, sound distance, whole island, activate on hit, no. 2 functions, activate when receiving from. We're going to connect this with our explosive device. Just like that. So what we just did, we just added a speaker to our explosive device. It'll actually add a noise to our build reset. So when we click on the button, it should sound like this. Back to devices, changing booth. You can place this wherever you like. I'm gonna place it just over here, just like that. Now here's an option. Say you don't want to, you know, get eliminated in the arena and then be forced to spawn in the vault room, like that. What we can actually do is disable the player spawns in the vault room and then place new spawn points in the arena. So in the vault room, all the player spawns, I'm gonna have to set up a disable for all of these. And how I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna be using a trigger. Place it down in the trigger settings. Triggered by player off, triggered by vehicles off, triggered by sequencers off, triggered by water off. I've never seen triggered by water before. That's a neat one. Activate on game phase, game start. Delay 2 seconds. Trigger sound disabled. Triggered VFX disabled. Visible in game, no. In events, on trigger send event, we're going to connect this to all 16 player spawns. So you should see a list of player spawns here. We're going to have to add all of them. And also click on disabled for function. And there you go, all 16 player spawns. It's all connected to this trigger. So I did it one way. If you really wanted to, you can actually go through all the player spawns and then actually physically, you know, connect it with the trigger. That might be a little bit easier, but both ways do work. And just connect it with that trigger. Next, we're going to copy one of our player spawns. And we're going to bring this to our arena. People tend to usually put it underneath this ramp here. Setting will change is enabled during phase. Originally it was set to always. We're going to have it set to none. And then in functions we have enable and receiving from. We're going to connect this with our trigger. So once the trigger gets activated, this spawn point will be enabled. And we got disable when receiving from. We're going to make sure this is turned off. So we're going to delete that event. And then we should be good. There you go. So it should red out. It means that it's disabled on game start. We go ahead and copy this. And we're going to place down at least 8 of these. And there you go. Let's try it out. After 3 seconds, those player spawns in the vault should be disabled, and the ones here should be enabled. So let's go ahead and respawn as if we got eliminated. Perfect. So one thing we got to do is expand our build reset range. So we got our explosive device here. Let's go ahead and copy it. Place another one. Grab that new explosive device. We can actually place this on every corner of our platform. So what this will do, it'll make sure that anything that is built on the platform gets reset. If we didn't do this, only at the ramps, that's where the builds will reset. If you need to, you can always copy, place more explosive devices around your platform. just like that. Alright guys, I believe that is it. That is the simple way to build a BHE 1v1 map here in 2023. You guys can obviously, expand your map, add things to it, add whatever you want with it. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. Make sure you guys smash that like button. Subscribe if you're interested in my content. Let me know down below in the comments if you got your map working. I'll see you guys when I see you. Peace.